Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Andy, doing some Jenga, and got my cup of coffee right here that you may recognize from this morning. And I'm going to take out these earbuds because they're playing music, and they're going to throw me off from my Jenga game, and I don't want that. And so, Jenga Tower, meet everyone, meet Jenga Tower. Yes, those are my glasses. And here are my hands. Remarkable as they are, aren't they? Da, 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 da. I was just listening to a pretty cool episode of the Revolutions podcast. The Revolutions podcast, as the name suggests, covers revolutions from the past. And they are currently going through the Russian Revolution. And the topic for the latest Revolutions podcast was the bank robbery done by Stalin and his crew of banditos back in 1917. Left 40 people dead, took about $3 to $4 million, about 200,000 rubles, I believe, which is about $3 to $4 million in today's money. Funny thing about the bank heist is that no one really got caught at the time. However, they couldn't get rid of the money. They couldn't launder the money because of the bills were so. They had $500. They had 500 rubles on each bill, and each of those 500 ruble bills had a serial number on them, and they had no way of unloading that money. So it was an insanely successful bank robbery. On one point, that the gangsters got away, Joseph Stalin and his band of banditos did escape. However, it was unsuccessful in the sense that they couldn't really get rid of the money, which I thought was interesting. So Revolutions podcast, you can find that, just Google search it or search iTunes or whatever podcast service you use. It's definitely worth your time. And like I said, it was about a 35-minute episode today. A good 25 to 30 minutes of it. A majority was dedicated to Stalin's bank heist in the Caucasus because, he's from Georgia. Came up in Tbilisi, capital of Georgia. So I found that worth my time. And I think if you are a fan of history, interested in some of the crazier aspects of history, you would find it interesting too. Because, Stalin, you can argue, Stalin is the most successful of the 20th century dictators, right? I mean, Mao was successful too in his own weird way, right? But Stalin, lived a relatively long life and had some, like I said, did some gangster stuff when he was younger. I don't know. And when you hear about the Stalin bank robbery back in 1907, it's like a classic bank heist. They have a guy on the inside, they have a person on the inside, they have a team of people outside. What makes it different from, let's say, Ocean's 11 is that 40 people died. Don't knock over. I'm going to try, Paul. I was just talking about the bank robbery Joe Stalin led when he was a young man back in 1907. I believe it was 1907. But I'm going to try not to be unfocused here. Got my cup of coffee here, my Hobbit cup. Hey, Tobin Templeman. Hope you are all doing well. I went outside today. I went outside for a walk. It was warm enough. It was sunny. And I said to myself, Andy, just for your own mental health, you should get out of the house and do something. So I decided to take a walk around the neighborhood. I was actually reading. Oh, no, I was listening. When I go for my walks, I listen to podcasts. And I was listening to the Hidden Brain podcast, and they did an interesting episode on religion about the evolutionary or the possible evolutionary benefits of religion, in in times past, basically that religion was a way for people to, or societies to bind people together. And yes, in the hour-long conversation on this Hidden Brain episode, there was the point made that as societies become safer, as secular institutions become stronger, the need for religion or the evolutionary urge for faith seems to die out. Hey, tons of mice. What does Jenga think when it looks in the mirror? I could lose a few blocks. Indeed. Indeed. That's funny. I like that. Oh, well, I just try to do my best. That's all. That's all I do. I just try to do my best, imaginary God. So yeah, so those are the two podcast episodes I was listening to today. The Hidden Brain episode on faith, on religion, and the Revolutions podcast on on the Stalin bank heist in 1907. Am I brave or just stupid? I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. That's all. It's always a possibility. And now you're supposed to say, there's no negative self-talk here, Andy. He said, well, if there's no negative self-talk, I don't know what I would do for an act, to tell you the truth, or for shtick. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I kind of like the backlighting too, right? I had a table lamp. And I thought the table lamp, it makes the Jenga tower look so dramatic. Sam Harris has a new podcast episode out. I'm not subscribed. I mean, I'm not a paying member, but Harris has a podcast episode that's titled "Building a Universe," and I think he's going to be talking science stuff. And so that's my next podcast episode I'm going to be listening to. The Green Room. That's right. This is the Green Room. No snacks, however. We have a very low budget here in the Green Room. No snacks. But green. We have lots of green. Does this make me look flat? Nice. The girlfriend, tons of mice. Did you come up when you see the Jenga in the mirror? Marjorie Taylor Greene. Has she hasn't been running her mouth a whole lot lately, has she? You think she's on good behavior? Like they had to put her in timeout? She isn't really doing too much of the crazy talk. Maybe she's afraid to get sued with all the other people getting sued. She's like, maybe I can just keep it low. Those, with Donald Trump being in CPAC over the weekend, that's gonna be crazy. The kind of crappery he's gonna be talking about. Cray, indeed. Cray to the gray power. Cray to the gray power. I like that. Look at that. Majestic. Did you check out the audio promo I sent you? Simply Secular. How did you send it to me, sir? Did you send it to me on the email through the AOL email? Because I checked that email once earlier today, but I haven't checked it again. Simply Secular. So tell me more about that. It's funny when I'm doing this and hanging out with you all. It's like, so what have I done today so far? What do I have left to do? What have I forgotten to do? So she was tweeting smack. Oh, was she, huh? But not getting any attention. Wow. Yeah, I saw. Okay, so Paul Kamish. I got the video. I saw the first. I got it like just before I started my morning show. And I started watching literally the first 20 seconds of it when I said, oh, crap, I have to do the morning show. And so I haven't seen all of it. I saw the first few seconds of it. I saw the initial talking to the camera and then the pull back to the bed. I said, I have to see the rest of this. It's been a weirdly busy day for me so far, because I woke up late. I woke up late this morning, which for me was like 7:30. So I guess that's the benefit of sleeping okay, not being up at 5 or 4 like I was before, because I was getting up at 4 or 5. So now all the stuff I would do between like 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock, I gotta spread out through the day. And that interferes with the other stuff that I usually do during the day. But I vow I will watch that video, Paul Kamish, and I'll check out the audio promo that you sent me, Simply Secular, because Simply Secular, I believe you probably sent it to my AOL email. And if you didn't, then let me know. So for those of you, I can't believe I buried the lead on this and that I did not talk about it during the show this morning. So I discovered last night that the Muppet Show, yes, the original Muppet Show, the show that ran from 1976 to 1981, is now streaming on Disney Plus. So in case you have Disney Plus, you can now watch original episodes of the Muppet Show. I believe there are 120 episodes in all. I do not know if they have all seasons of the Muppet Show on Disney Plus. I know that there is the first season, because that's what I'm watching right now. Hopefully the other seasons are also on Disney Plus. Oh yeah, the GOP is rapidly becoming the John Birch Society. You're right about that. Imaginary God. Tried to scare you into smashing it, Theo. I see what you're doing there. Right? You're just waiting till the tower gets up high and then jumping in All right. This could be it. Let's hope it's not it. I think I got a couple of more levels maybe to this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Paul Camish, I will have to say this, sir. I do like the opening to your channel, to your videos. It is pretty cool. Don't all the logos have to go the right way up? Maybe you should start over. What? No. Simply Secular. No. Oh. Here it is. I don't know, man. Well, there's a QAnon conspiracy discussion on the channel yesterday. That's interesting. I was thinking about this because, as many of you know, I have a bunch of Satanists on the regular on my 10:30 p.m. show on Sunday nights, and I was thinking about it the other day. It's like if more people knew, and I probably said this already, but if more people knew about the Satanic Panic back in the 80s and the 90s, if that was basically taught in classes, or if it was just parents talk to their kids about it, about the lunacy. Then we probably wouldn't have QAnon today. Oh, wow. I have to see how it ends. All right. Now they're all over the place. Now it's all over the place. All right. Does this count as exercise? Getting the blocks is what I'm going to tell my doctor. Sure, I exercise. I play Jenga online, and then I have to get the blocks, which are just scattered all over the room. That counts as some kind of stretching, doesn't it? Maybe some kind of aerobic exercise? I don't know. What a disaster that was. Free the blocks, indeed. Indeed, free the blocks. All right, so what are we doing here? I got to find the sleeve. Where did I put the sleeve? It was an epic crash. I think the room that I'm in right here is probably best for acoustics for the crash. It's just got my kid's bed in it, and it's a relatively small room with hardwood floors, so this is probably the best room acoustically for crashing. Theo says, for me, QAnon is a very dangerous mix of different ideologies. I'm skeptical of too much Brave New World and surveillance capitalism, but not all the other Semitic dogmatic. Yeah, there are just so many similarities with QAnon and the Satanic Panic. There is an element of Christianity gone crazy, not that it's always crazy, of course, but there's an element of people using these conspiracy theories to to get to their political ends. QAnon, Satanic Panic. There's the what about the children? There's a cabal. Indeed, some people do. Well, once again, in societies, the United States of America doesn't really have a nurturing society. We have a society that incentivizes cruelty on the mass scale, while individuals, may be good people and treat each other within their own clan, within their own clique nicely. There's definitely this incentivization by our system to treat each other like crap, Yeah, exactly, Theo. They mix alt-right, religious, and esoteric ideas with general anti-instat. Right. So it's a toxic mix of this American fascism, this basically authoritarianism with and the blocks got in my coffee. Cool, Andy. Don't worry, I drank most of the coffee. I see they got in the coffee, guys. That's a big dope. I'm gonna have to watch this, Eddie. All right, so first step, coffee is now off the table. Let's see if I have all the blocks. Yeah, so I think we would be doing well. Just as I believe the Germans pretty much teach their people about, it is a big stir stick, about the Holocaust, about Nazism. I think Americans should really be taught about the Salem witch trials. They should be taught about the Satanic Panic, in so that it actually helps inoculate the body politic against these crazy ideas. Because if we really want to stop the crazy ideas, I think a way to do it is to inoculate, to vaccinate, against the meme, against these crazy memes that happen to burn through our society every few years. Like every generation, there seems to be this kind of lunacy. Where's the rest of the freaking blocks? Oh man. Oh, there they are. Excellent. It takes me longer to find the freaking blocks than to actually do the tower. Yes, I did. I did. I did end up with 2 pieces in my coffee. Thankfully, the coffee was very low. It was a very, there wasn't a lot of coffee. Jenga Tower Part 2. Oh, right. Well, yes, girlfriend. I think there's some issues there, to tell you the truth. But is there a laughing in disbelief Discord? I do not have a Discord. Should I have a Discord theoretically, Theo? I'm really trying to master this whole YouTube thing, or at least to do YouTube well, whatever that means. And I'm not going to lie to you, does the Discord add something? I should look into it, to tell you the truth. I don't know that much about it. I spend a lot of my time on, I'm going to use my right hand here. I spend a lot of time on Facebook, sometime on Twitter, and of course, I've been doing YouTube and the blog. Just a hint of spruce. That's right. Just a hint. I think not everyone needs to have one, but it's a direct communication and community work. All right, well, I'll check it out. Upon your suggestion, I will take a look at it and see. All right. So yeah, that's my, if I was going to be education secretary here in the country, I would make sure that kids learned about the Salem witch trials and the Satanic Panic and other moral fears, these mass fears. Yeah, YouTube fills a lot of my time. A lot. And I have to tell you, a lot of I do a fair amount of reading, and I try to think about what's funny. And then I wonder, it's like, wow, how can I be funnier? Or why am I not funnier? And then I think, why am I not smarter? Why am I not, it isn't really comparing myself to other people, but it's like really just trying to keep my game up. Sharing Q's tart and Holy Q. I take it this is on the Discord. The Discords, yeah. Shannon Q's. I don't think I know that much about Shannon Q, to tell you the truth. I mean, I've heard her name, but I don't know that much about her. Yeah, the Discords. I'll check them out. We should have a drinking game when Trump talks. Shan Q is Canadian. Oh, really, huh? Wow. Is she going to Canada? Is she going to Canada shame me? Canada shame me. That's funny, Andy Hall. Is she going to Canada shame me? Talk about how wonderful life is up there. Oh, she's on AXP. All right. So I must have seen her because I check out clips and sometimes shows of AXP. So I'm sure I must have seen her, though I'm unacquainted with the line. MathPig is helping a lot of people setting one up. And Titan Uranus is shilling every stream on all of them. Oh, really? Wow. I wonder why I'm so awesome, great, brilliant, good looking, and intelligent. I can't understand it. Well, Paul, some people just win the genetic crapshoot, right? Not me. Oh, okay. She's on the East Coast. Interesting. I think I read somewhere that Jenga was chopped up cricket bats. Maybe because Jenga, well, from what I understand, cricket can go for days. A cricket game can go for days. When I toured over there years ago, I did see part of a cricket game. Nothing big, nothing major, anything like that. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. And I know cricket is older than baseball, but it struck me as a more boring version of baseball, which tough to do, but possible. Oh, she has a psychology background. All right. Good for her. Oh, don't pay attention, Andy. Pay attention. Zero about Jenga. I guess the word Jenga comes from the word build. I think a Brit started or created it while they were living in Africa, brought it back up to the UK. and got popularized there. In which language? That's a very good question, Theo. If I was smarter or remembered that bit of information, I could probably pull it up right now and tell you. I want to say it's West African in origin. Jenga was created on the day the guy playing Parquet Flow was forced to watch cricket for 9 hours. Very nice. I think so. That's possible. I love that argument. Well, it's possible, right? It's like, yeah, well, a lot of things are possible. Not everything is probable. Oh, no. You're not falling. I don't know why. Have I? Oh, man. Swahili. There we go. Thank you. So, how does it look from over here? It looks very unstable down there, this section here. That lower level. That doesn't look right. All right. Let's see what I can do. Maybe that'll work. I'm tapping that little one. They're all the same size, but I'm thinking this will work. Maybe. Oh, no! I guess that didn't work. I guess that did not go as planned. That did not go as planned. Catastrophic fails are not planned. Funny how that works out. Sometimes catastrophic fails are planned out, but typically, yeah. I see that after Googling, Jenga dates back to just after the crucifixion, when it was found that they had too many relics from the cross, so they stacked them. And behold, Jenga. If you do the perfect cross Jenga, do you get Jesus? Do you get the Jesus if you get all the cross pieces Jenga together properly? It would be a miracle. It would be a miracle. It's random blocks. Hallelujah. 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 Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. I don't know how to put blocks or Jenga into that tune. Mine eyes. Ooh. How about a Jenga with domino bricks once? Well, I know that there is a game. There are, I could get the giant Jenga game, right? That would be fun. I know that there is a Jenga game made by super nerds. I'm only kind of nerd, but by super nerds with weirdly shaped blocks. Well, I think my next foray into games would be having my girlfriend teach me how to play backgammon. I think that's my stretch goal, right? On my work performance, the stretch goal is, Andy, learn how to play backgammon and make crappy jokes about it as you're being taught it, maybe getting drunk while doing it. Giant Jenga would be fun. That's right. How could it not be? It's giant. Bam, just like that. I'm not going to lie to you all. My girlfriend and I have been watching BattleBots too. Yeah, BattleBots, robots attacking each other, destroying each other. That's been something else I've been doing with my spare time, besides everything else. Left hand, left hand, left hand. I feel, this bottom one, smashy, smashy, a lot of fun. That's what that is, a lot of fun. I know that it's really easy to take out the blonde from the bottom, and I feel like it's a trap. Yeah, Andy, you think everything's a trap? No, but I think it's really a trap. I don't think it makes the rest of the structure good, strong, solid. Like taking out the bottom of the body, it's so easy. It's just so easy. Oh, you have played with 2x4 blocks. All right. I just thought, do you have to start at the bottom? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You see, this is the thing, Theo, is that those are the easiest ones to pick out. What I found, they seem to be some of the easier ones to pick out at the very beginning. I don't really understand why, but it does seem to be a poor strategy. I feel like I'm a 52-year-old Andy reflecting on like 20-year-old Andy. It's like, when you do that thing, the thing that you know that you're doing wrong, that's a bad idea. And yeah, I'm saying idea with an R. That's what I do. But yeah, I feel like, well, even as I'm doing it, I feel like this is probably not a good idea. Andy lives, oh, well, on the edge. Tons of mice on the edge. What's up, James Henry? Saw your email. I don't have a WhatsApp account, but I'm thinking I should really be. I mean, if there's a theme of this particular episode of Andy Builds Blocks, it's like I should do something about Discord, maybe explore Discord a bit, and maybe do something with WhatsApp, or at least get on WhatsApp so I have an account. Exactly, right. Good is good. I'm going to be, whenever I get vaccinated and whenever I'm back to a job, which I feel pretty sure I will have to get a job. One, just so that I don't go crazy, and two, the blog money doesn't really keep me financially solvent. Let's say I'm probably going to look back at myself and say, you should have been doing more, Andy, during the year or so of the pandemic. See, not only do I feel guilty now, but I feel guilty in the future about what I'm doing now. That's a gift, my friends. That's a gift. Okay, so WhatsApp. Yeah, I'm thinking you guys. Yeah, WhatsApp is really for too personal. Huh? This is interesting because I've heard from people in Extinction Rebellion that they use the WhatsApp to communicate. I guess it's more private. How level is that table? It is. It is not the. It's not the proper Jenga table. No, it isn't. And it might. It is not. But that's proper worrying before, during, and afterwards. Yep. 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 You retired at 55. Good for you, James Henry. Yeah. Good for you. Tell you the truth. My non-retirement fantasy would to be like Jules at the end of Pulp Fiction when he talks to uh, when he talks to his buddy there. Who is it? Vinnie Barbarino there. John Travolta character. And so Samuel L. Jackson is going, I think I'm just going to give up the life. I'm just going to go on adventures, just travel around and go on adventures. And John Travolta goes, there's a word for that, Jules. It's called being a bum. WhatsApp video calls are the best. All right, I'll check that out. Definitely. You can add 4 people to the call. Good to know. So, what was your secret in retiring at the age of 55, James Henry? Now that you have disclosed such, Pulp Fiction is a cult movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Very Old Testamenty, right? It's all about the sin of the meat. Meat is sin, but sin tastes good. Well, pig's a dirty animal. And that made up line that they have from Ezekiel in Pulp Fiction. That's hilarious. See, now this right here, this midsection, I feel like this is my lower back. This midsection makes no sense. It's got no support. Saving and I have a private pension. Good for you. Yeah, man. You see these people on TV, right? And they're doing things that they don't need to do if they had saved their pennies all their life, right? If you can save your pennies, if you're in the situation that you can save your pennies, then what did Einstein say? That one of the most powerful forces in the universe is compound interest. I think it's something like that. Oh, work for the government in various jobs. That's good. Yeah. They set you up pretty well, I imagine, with a pension. I like to make up biblical quotes and see if I can slide them by Christians. Well, it's an interesting drinking game, isn't it? Or it could be a good drinking game is to take out different lines from Shakespeare and play the game Bible or Shakespeare, right? That'd be an interesting drinking game. There should be a card game like that, my friends. There should be a card game. Shakespeare or the Bible. Of course, there'd be like an add-on section to that game that would be either biblical genocide versus real genocide. Like, did this really happen in the Bible? Did this particular horrible act happen in the Bible, or was it a real life event? That'd be dark. That'd be a dark game. Not a lot of people would play it. Yeah, the government has the best pension. That's a problem right there. So many problems. The Bible or Winnie the Pooh or the Bible, and you can play around with that quite a bit, right? The Bible or versus did Jesus say it or did Aslan say it from like the C.S. Lewis Narnia series? You could have a lot of game. You could have a lot of fun with that. Well, I feel this. Let me tell you how I feel about the Bible. Is that in terms of understanding a lot of literary references, I think it's important to learn. And at least here in the States, there's so many people because, of course, religious fascism is a huge problem here. Knowing a bit about the Bible does help when engaging with theists and Christian, with Christians, basically evangelical Christians. The Bible of Mr. Spark, that's right. And he sat down, called the 12 and said to them, if anyone desires to be first, they will have to get the ticket early. The God of blood, blood God. His name is Yahweh, blood God. See, that could be a Spinal Tap song right there. I don't know, man. I think my Jenga tower needs a brace right here. It needs a brace. It has to do some PT therapy. Am I talking about my Jenga tower or my back? I don't know, but I think that's what it needs. Well, maybe a plan, Andy. Maybe we had a plan when you were doing the Jenga tower, when you were taking all the blocks out earlier. Maybe you wouldn't be in this kind of mess now. Maybe I'm right. The God of Blood. It'd be a movie about Yahweh, the God of Blood. He may not be the universal donor, but he's the universal taker. Bah, bah, bah. Bah, 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 bah. Yeah, well, it's motivated reasoning. Motivated thinking is a hell of a drug. That's what it is. To play with that Rick James quote, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Motivated thinking, especially in the service of a deity, it's dangerous. That's what it is. It is dangerous. So I've been watching. My girlfriend and I have been watching Freaks and Geeks, the TV Judd Apatow series. It takes place in the 1980s, and we were just watching a couple of episodes last night. I came to the conclusion that wow, was everyone in 1980 kind of a bag of dicks? Maybe, because that's definitely the vibe I got. Then I thought to myself, Andy Hall, what do you remember from 1980? You were hiding out in the library most of the time. And it's like, well, I probably was. Look at that. Oh, not unhappy. Wait, I got a block. Oh, yes. You're working at a carny all summer. My sister, my adopted sister, she went into foster care. Actually, horrible Andy story alert. So my sister left the family, my family, our adopted family, when she was about 16 or so. There were issues, everyone. There were issues. And she went to live in a foster family a town over from us. And her foster brother over there, he actually ran off to the circus. He just went with his traveling circus and traveled around with them for a while and hated it because it turns out that's a lot of work. Being in the circus, it's a lot of work. A buddy of mine, actually talking about people who you know who actually made a life of living in the circus. A buddy of mine from high school, a city kid, he actually became the head knight over at King Richard's Fair, a traveling, Renaissance fair, and he would perform all the dangerous crap that you would think someone who was a knight jousting would perform, and he did it for decades. He's retired now. He's my age. He's 52. He's retired because he's got, you can only do the knight thing for so long because it's like you're a stuntman for all intents and purposes. You get your body banged up. But yeah, so he was someone who actually ran off to the circus and was successful. Job 1:7, the Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" And Jason answered the Lord, "From Philadelphia." That's right, The Gang at Patty's Pub. That's a great show. I love that show. So smart, too. Smart, clever show. That's just insane. See, now I feel if I move this one, the whole tower, I feel like the tower is lopsidedly leaning here. Very Pisa-esque, like the Tower of Pisa. So, I can't. Oh, right, the whole thing there with the whole hands with the Jesus and the M&M's bit. Yeah. Uh-oh. I don't think I can do that properly. Maybe I can do it from over here. Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, look at that. Divine diabetes. That's good. His hands have holes. That is correct. Holy hands. Oh, did that one? I think I might have. Nope, that one's not going to go. Well, I'm going to go with this one. It seems easy. See, but it isn't. It tricked me, everyone. It tricked me into thinking it was going to be easy. But then it's like, F you, Andy. You're not going to get a freebie. Here we go. Did Jesus ever eat in the Bible? Well, the thing is, right? He's supposed to be like 100% man and 100% God, so he'd have to eat. He'd have to eat. He went to the wedding of Cana. He had to have eaten, right? Of course, being 100% man and 100% God is just word salad. It's like the Trinity, right? It's a bunch of nonsense words. Oh, I almost lost the tower. I almost lost my camera there. So, the idea that Jesus was 100% man, 100% God. It's like the Trinity. It's just word salad thrown together, and people have just accepted it over the years. It means nothing. It's absurd. That's what it is. And he did not get a fair trial. You're right about that. That story about Arizona we were talking about this morning, we covered this morning, that was pretty crazy. People being stuck in jail because of a software glitch. And the real tragedy out of this, if I'm going to be, sorry, if I was going to try to make a dark humor joke about this, is that you have people like Kafka or George Orwell not being alive today to write about, the intersection of technology, bureaucracy, or the fascist leanings of our species. Look at that, huh? A ziggurat for the ages. The home state of Joe. You're right. What was his Sheriff Joe or something like that? That guy. It's a long history of being a dick. What's interesting about global climate change, and I think I've mentioned this before on the show and just on other shows, that with global climate change, there's going to be, and we've already seen it, there's going to be a lot more people moving out of California into red states. And those red states are going to be turned blue because of global climate change. So all these red state oligarchs, due to their own stupidity, are going to be causing all these changes. So a lot of people from the coasts are going to be moving inland, and they're turning places like Texas blue. They're turning places like Arizona bluish. They're turning them bluish, and it is one of those ripple effects, one of those butterfly effects of global climate change. People in California going, this entire state is on fire, or having mudslides, or some kind of weirdness. All right, what is the best choice? I know. I'm trying to find a suitable block. Maybe there is no suitable block, Andy. It's 67 degrees, 20 degrees. Wow, after being stuck below freezing last. Yeah, it's like 40 degrees, 39 degrees, something like that today. That's what got me out of the house. Oh, Shazam. Bam. Red states are cheaper to live in. That's because there are no services. Idiocy has a price, and it's called Texas. I'm sorry for anyone who's Texan out there, or Mississippi, or it is it is cheaper. It is cheaper, but I would not feel comfortable raising my kids in a red state. There's this, I think it's Tolstoy. Tolstoy wrote this Russian short story about how much land does a man need? And that has stuck with me through the years. I still have it kicking around somewhere in my library behind me. So the book is about the big land grab out in the middle part of Russia during, I think, the 19th century, right? Because while America had the West, right, Russia had the East. So while Americans were looking towards the West for their future and for land, Russians were pretty much looking towards the East. And so in the story, um, and I might have talked about this before, in the story, the idea, the contest, or how much land you could get is basically how much you could walk or how much you could physically traverse in a day. So if you could walk 5 miles, let's say, for the sake of argument, then you would get that 5 mile plot of land. And so the main character, the narrator, he decides he's going to get as much land as he can, and he has to be able to run. He has to be able to traverse it from sun up to sundown, and so he's very ambitious. He goes out and he runs and runs and runs and runs and covers as much ground as possible. But he's found out. He discovers that he has to make it back. He has to make it back to the point that he started at by the time of sundown. So he runs back, because if he doesn't make it, he's going to lose everything. He's going to lose everything. So he keeps running. He keeps running. He gets running, and the sun is getting lower. The sun's getting lower, and then he dies. He gets a heart attack. His heart gives out on him. Now, of course, it's a moral story about greed. How much land does a man need? So when I think about people choosing to live in red states than blue states, it's like, well, how much do you need? How much do you need to get by? States matter. Here in the United States, states matter. Um, I'll take living moderately in a blue state as against to, having a 3,000 square house in a red state any day of the week. Yeah, I don't think they have income tax either. If my girlfriend's in the chat, she can probably tell you if they have an income tax. Yeah, I'm with you, Tobin. I'm with you. And also, there's a medical care issue too. Sure, there's good healthcare systems in some red states, certainly, but I'm going to sound like a masshole here for a minute. Masshole, for those of you who aren't aware, Massachusetts plus asshole. It is inherent. I am. If something goes sideways with me health-wise, I feel that some of the world's best hospitals are right down the street from me, and I know that's a little anxiety, maybe a little paranoid on my part, but the differences that you get in terms of care between a place like Mass General here in Boston to even outside in the suburbs, it is startling. It's startling how different the levels of care are. Texas. Texas does not have a state income tax. There's a sales tax, but it's not much higher than the rest of the other parts of the country, right? But the property taxes, New Hampshire's like that too. I don't think there is no income tax in New Hampshire. Rates are pretty high. Oh, here we go. Kicking butt. My camera's doing weird things and I don't know why. All right, here we go. Back not to doing weird things. My birth sister, my genetic sister, moved down to North Carolina, I think 5 or 6 years ago, and she seems happy with the move. She was up in upstate New York, though. She wasn't in like a city area, but she seems pretty happy. I think she lives in a major metropolitan area, so those are always better. Well, it's an interesting thing about college educations, right? When you get up here, especially in the Boston, Cambridge, Somerville area, it isn't just about having an education. It's about what kind of education. It's very competitive. It's very competitive here. A lot of people here are just overeducated for what they're doing. At least that's my read on it. I could be wrong. I think I should just stop now and just say I won, right? I won Jenga. Damn it. Come on with the break. I know I'm ruining it, guys. I know I'm. Don't fall. Oh. Does this count? I don't think it counts if I write it, right? Tons of mice. Okay, so this is officially fallen. If I let it go, it would fall. Tons of mice. The thing is about, this is what I tell them. From what I understand, having a BA philosophy major, if you want to become a lawyer, that's one of the best undergraduate degrees to have. From what I understand, the last time I heard, philosophy majors score the highest on the LSATs. The LSATs are the entrance exams to law school. So, yeah, love of reading. Hey, love of reading. You should check out John Funk's channel, Love of Reading. Great channel. Check out the one where the reporter knocks down the Jenga tower. Indeed. It's a good foundation for something to study. Yeah, BA in philosophy, that can be helpful in life. There's no doubt about it. And there are fields that it can be useful. Couldn't afford law school. There is a law school here in the Boston area. It's for us poor plebs here. That allows you to do it part-time. Boston School of Law, I think it's called, or something like that. Da, da, da. I imagine, and I'm just going to throw this out there, that if you're a philosophy major, it would help you to code, since from what I understand, a lot of coding is mathematical. I like that. Mathematical and logic-y. That's only my dim understanding of anything. But I would think that having a background in philosophy would help you code. All right, so this is it. It's been an hour and 10 minutes. Hard to believe I am doing the show tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., of course. I think I have the story already planned out. Hey, girlfriend, you're coding right now. Very logical mind, my girlfriend. No philosophy degree here. You have a bright, shining light. That's what you have, the girlfriend, in terms of your cognitions. While I have a certain dark light, which is definitely not Cody whatsoever. All right, everyone. So what's the takeaway here? So the takeaway is that I'm going to be looking into a Discord server for everyone, right, to participate in. I'm going to look at a WhatsApp There is a video that Paul Kamish sent me, and I think there's an audio track that I should be listening to too. So those are the things. This is how I'm going to occupy my time for the next, I don't know, for a bit of time. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for supporting the channel in whatever way you choose to support. And I'll see you tomorrow. Be good, everyone. Be strong.